Hi, this is Yuan from Minerva. Today I'm going to show you a tool that we've been developing for Aras Innovator, and we will present it at the ACE event, the Aras Community Event 2012 in close to Detroit, Michigan. So this tool is a tool we've been developing because we were implementing Aras Innovator on customer side, and as you may know, the whole administrative part of Aras Innovator is in the same client as Aras Innovator, so an Internet Explorer. But there are some way of configuring Aras Innovator that we felt like there could be some improvement for it, and we wanted to make sure that we could um, make things easier and maybe faster to configure in some ways. So we've been developing this tool, which we've called it Confinnovator. The aim of it is to be able to provide a tool to integrators and also customers or subscribers to help them not only implementing but also managing Aras Innovator in a more efficient way. So this is a simple .NET application on which we install a panel for the connection to your instance, and then you've got different modules. Uh, how these modules, we've made some modules so you can get some of these. Recently, for example, we had someone asking for this software to help him translating Aras Innovator. So we provided him with the localization module. So you can have this software with just one module. So that's also easier to upgrade. If you want to get new functionalities, we just developed some new modules and you just have to add a folder. For example, here in plugins, you'll have a folder for each module. So every time we'll provide you with a new folder, we'll just add it and you'll get the new functionality here. So here you've got already 6 features that have been implemented, and I know that we've been developing a 7.1 recently in order to control workflows as an admin. So the first one we've made was the translation module. It's just because when we started to do some translation for the French language, for example, we were accessing the database directly, and then we made a first software which turned to be the first module finally of the Confinnovator. So that just helps to go through all the items that you can translate in the solution. The second one will be the method editor. The aim of this is to provide pretty much the same interface that you've got in Aras, but with some completion features, and so you don't have to know exactly how the program or the variables are named in Aras. So you have some code completion based on what Aras has in his dictionary. So we'll be able to lock and unlock methods that you have been creating in Aras Innovator. The third one is a very interesting tool because one of the key things you want to do when you deploy Aras is to make sure you package all your features, sometimes separately, to make sure you can move these features from one instance to another. And it is mainly important when you start to go on production and you develop new features on your development instance, and you want to move these features from your development to a quality or staging instance, and then to a production environment. So this tool will help you to understand which are the items that are not packaged, and so you make sure you integrate all the necessary elements for your package, and making sure that when you move it from one instance to another, you have all your features working. Fourth one is a permission manager. It was mainly to help us do some quick permission management in Aras, and it's we're not saying that Aras is not working well. It's just that you have to go through a lot of different item types and open permissions to change them. So we thought it was sometime easier to go through a list of item type and directly access the permission from that. So we get the permission on instanced item and the permission on the item type regarding the instance creation, so the can add feature. Then we've got the talk manager, which is one of the cool thing we've made is so on the left side of the Aras window you can see the table of content or tree of content, and one of the requests we have usually when we go on site is, well, can we put this item in a different folder? Can we change these? And it is simple to change, but it is not quick because you have to go in the item type definition and say, I want this item type to be shown for this identity in this folder, which makes you open all the item types windows, which is not so it's not always fast to do it. It's easy because it's very simple, but it takes some time. So we made it faster here by just saying, well, these parts have to go in a different folder or for a new identity. So that's some elements. And the other thing that is important is that in this view, what we always explain is that you can have as many view as identities you have. So if you have a simple user, it may not have the same view of this talk that you have if you're an admin. And so we wanted to implement, and it's just like there is a Facebook feature that shows the same thing, that shows you who's seeing what on your profile. So that's pretty much the same thing. You enter an identity, and you're able to say you're able to see who can see what. So if I say, so for example, I add administration here, and if I just say all employees, I have a different set of item. In administration, I won't have all the things that you're used to see in Aras Innovator, and the less. So in libraries, I have less things that I'm supposed to have in administration. So that's the kind of cool feature we've been implementing and making sure that people know exactly who's looking at what in the menu, accessing what. So if I get back on my own profile, you see that in administration I've got a lot of things. The last item we've implemented so far is the identity management tool. This is very important when you have large deployment. Recently we had 2 customers going in 250 users deployment, and so there was a lot of users and a lot of identities, different identities. And if you go in Aras, once more you have to open a lot of windows, and there's no simple tool in there to manage those identities. So we've implemented this where you've got identities and here you got users, and it is very easy to see how people are inside an identity. And so you have different feature. You can start from, for example, you can see who is an admin. You can check just the user or user and the identities. You can list the identities. So one use case is, for example, I want to, in all customer, so I got the admin, but I also want to have beta rows or the brand manager going in all customer. Then I just have to do a drag and drop, and I have the brand manager in all customer. And this is directly implemented or changed into Aras Innovator. So it makes it very simple, not only for deployment, but also for administration. To manage your Aras Innovator instance. We will deploy a lot more feature during our future implementation, because as soon as we know we can make things quicker with this tool, we implement it in it and providing more values to our customers.